I have not done a Stoic calm show in a while, and I thought I'd kind of get back to things and just my struggles, my emotional struggles in this post-pandemic, post-George Floyd world that we are living in. It seems like there are insane people, egocentric, cluster B behaving, insane people that are running society or have opportunities in society that they shouldn't, because they're not that talented. And the internet was once called the information superhighway, and I don't think it's that anymore. And there are groups of people, particularly within legacy media, who tell you only I can tell you history, the news, only I can tell you morality. And if you choose to speak out, I'm going to shut you down. I will defame you. I will stigmatize you. I will objectify you. And you won't be able to do anything about it, because we control the legacy media. And not only do we control the legacy media, we also control the internet. We control a lot what goes on the internet, what you see and what you hear. And I've looked into their playbook, and I look into how they behave in their, I don't know if it's their thought process, but it's certainly what they tell you. They certainly get to drop a lot more balls out there, and they can make some other excuse to why they still get to play and you don't. I think it's a good idea to study your opponent, study your enemy, and know the tactics he uses, and then adjust your game or adjust your tactics accordingly in an intelligent manner. So this culturally captured woke leftist, again, he tells you that freedom of speech doesn't mean you have the freedom of reach. This new device we have on our phones and on our laptops and on our desktops, that's too dangerous for just anybody to operate. It's got to be controlled by the moral powers that be, because what you say may be considered hate speech and may cause an individual to act crazy, and that's enough to punish all of you as far as speech is concerned. And we're not going to take an examination on how people respond to your speech and your coverage of news events. It's only people on the anti-woke side, or the people who are objective, who question things. We're not going to let them talk or speak. This new device, this thing called social media, it turned out to be dangerous. Before the public man can get on his phone and speak whatever, and I believe the algorithm was coined to I think it was more in alphabetical order, and you could go down the line, and and it was done. I believe it was done in alphabetical order or order of topic, and then it was done on the most recent view. So if you had if there was a riot or an earthquake, if you were the last person to talk on that topic, yours would automatically get up to the top, and it was, easily visible to be seen. And the powers that be didn't like it. I don't know if it was the HR departments or these woke nonprofits, but they didn't like what was being said. And they said first they said hate speech. And now they've said Russian disinformation. That's their go-to thing now. Most of us on this thing, we've never been to Russia, never had anything to do with Russia. But if you say anything that goes against the woke narrative, they'll accuse you of being perhaps a Russian bot. And they talk about the Ukraine, money for the Ukraine, and you question that, you're a Russian. It doesn't matter if we talk about the Muslim grooming gangs that violated many English girls. Can we spend money on that? I notice on immigration, they talk about a democracy, and most Americans are not in favor of the type of immigration system that we have. And most of the people in Western Europe, I don't believe, are in favor of the type of immigration system they have. If it were a direct democracy and they had people speaking for us on this issue, immigration would be much more curtailed. So they don't, they say they believe in democracy, but they really don't. Because if we had a democracy, if we had a direct democracy and we had a say on certain subjects, both America and Western Europe would have had and would have a far more restrictive immigration system than we do. And I don't know why that's never talked about. And like I said, I'm kind of ignorant on things. I don't know why. I've always said 2025, if the Republicans win the House, the Senate, and the presidency, why we shouldn't have hearings on the 2020 George Floyd riots, protests and riots. There's a motorbike coming by. So, yeah, some of the things that were said by our public officials should be on record. Some of the behaviors that happen should be more on public record. And I think these behaviors should be absolutely remembered. And certain behaviors that the far left anti-racist moral authoritarians that have come to abuse people should also be on record. And their abuse and hypocrisy, I hope, is exposed. It may not be, but I think the best way to fight it is, again, through strategic boycotts and through litigation. And I don't think protests work with conservatives. But again, if companies are giving money to groups that shut down my voice, If my voice isn't welcome, then I think that our currency, our money should not be, then you don't want my money. You don't respect me as a human being. Again, you want to objectify me and stigmatize me. And you want to do that without me having any say. Well, I'm going to go to the other place. This has been Brian with Transparency and Merit, Walk Against the Woke, Mr. Midnight Movie, and maybe a few others out there listening. But I thank you for listening. Best wishes. Make a comment, like, and subscribe on my YouTube channel and on my Twitter pages. Thank you so much.